Welcome back to the SMT Media Network. We're talking hoops today. We're going to be discussing the NBA Finals, specifically a player who really hasn't been playing well in this series, and that's Tyrese Haliburton. He has had a couple of nice moments, but that's not going to be enough. That's not going to do it. It simply will not. Tyrese Haliburton of the Indiana Pacers has really had some issues in recent games. Now, there's talks of him being injured, and I don't want to downplay that. I understand the severity of certain injuries can really hinder a player's ability to contribute, whether it's in scoring or defending, whatever the case may be. But last night, in Game 5 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, we're talking about a player, Tyrese Haliburton, who has been on an absolute tear. He has been completely blowing up all the narratives about him being overrated, as voted by his contemporaries, the players around the league, people that don't know who he is, now they do, right? All these great storylines and things about the Pacers that are really, it's him, right? His identity, who he is as a player, has been a big part of what the Pacers have done. But last night he had 4 points. He had 3 turnovers. He was held to, 6 assists, which typically, we see this guy, 10, 12 assists. When they win games, the ball is moving around. He's a big part of that. Attacking the paint, getting into the paint, restricted area, getting layups, getting by guys. He wasn't doing much of any of that. In fact, his points all came from free throws. I think he got 1 paint shot. It was like a layup. He was fouled, but he was 0 of 6 shooting from the field and 0 of 4 from 3. He was a complete non-factor, and somehow, someway, the Indiana Pacers found a way to stay in the game. Midway through the fourth quarter, I think they had reduced the lead down to single digits. And I'm sure the Thunder were thinking to themselves, man, these guys are a very resilient bunch, very tough. Defensively is how the Pacers got back into it, right? Getting stops, and then getting points on the other end. And it was close. It was looking pretty shaky, right? The Thunder, they were looking vulnerable, but defensively, the Thunder ended up holding it down, and just basically just hitting the Pacers harder than the Pacers could hit the Thunder. It's what this boils down to, right? These runs, these answers, these responses, the timeouts, what do they do outside of them? The Thunder just did better at executing that. But to speak to Tyrese Haliburton, this guy's been talking a lot. Right, he plays the underdog card. He plays the them against us. It's us against the world, and all these things. And he says, like, the media and the frenzy about him being overrated fuels him, and all those things. I get it. It's fun. It's cool. The storylines are great. But there comes a point, whether he's injured or not, or the severity of the injury doesn't even matter. You either play or you don't. You either come through and rise to the occasion, or you don't. And he has an opportunity to do that in this next game. I'm not saying that the series is over. The Oklahoma City Thunder clearly lead the series 3-2. And look, I'm perfectly fine with anybody's projections about the Thunder winning this series. I picked the Thunder in 6. I have since changed my mind. I think it's going to be Thunder in 7, even after watching Game 5. I'm not going to disrespect the Indiana Pacers and all they've done to get to this point. So I'm not changing. I'm not getting off the Pacers bandwagon per se. I do think the Thunder will win the series. I do think they're going to win the finals. I think it's going to take 7 games, but it's going to have to be with this guy playing better. You cannot be scoreless from the field. You can't be, 0 field goals made all game. And look, I'm giving all the credit in the world to Lou Dort. You have to. Him, Alex Caruso, the Thunder, their attention to Haliburton is huge, right? And I said it before the series started. There's going to be quarters where Haliburton doesn't score because Lou Dort is like that, because Alex Caruso is like that. But no field goals the entire game is crazy. And I think it warrants the consideration, how injured is this guy? But he's going to have to play. It's not negotiable. Whatever treatments have to take place, whatever recovery efforts have to be made, all of those kind of considerations. But the Pacers cannot beat the Oklahoma City Thunder without a huge impact from Tyrese Haliburton, whether he's assisting the ball, running the offense, whatever the case may be, scoring. He has to be a threat to Oklahoma City. If he's not threatening their defense, that Oklahoma City defense can set in. It's almost impossible to beat the Thunder in a set defensive kind of scenario. They're not getting the fast break opportunities, which has been characteristic of how the Pacers have won games. Go back and watch the Bucks series, the Cavs series, and the Knicks series. This is where the Pacers are able to get ahead. They run the floor. Haliburton's a big part of that. Game-winning shots. You see him stretching the floor and getting out to the three-point line. Tim, he's going to have to be a major contributor or else they don't have a chance. If they can get to a Game 7, I do give Indiana a fighting chance. But they're going home to Indiana. Maybe the home cooking helps and gets some treatment for him and he gets it together. But man, he's gone from, I think a great, fun-loving story, a guy who's seemingly coming out of nowhere and proving all the haters wrong and all that stuff, to him being a no-show. And nobody's going to respect that, and nobody's going to make excuses for his injuries. It's the finals. There's nothing else to be said. You just have to show and prove. And his guys gave him a chance. They were in that game in Game 5. They were right there. And they just kind of fell apart at the end because they needed him, and he couldn't provide. I'm critical of it. I'm sure some of you are as well. I'm sure there might be some Tyrese Haliburton defendants in the comment section, but look, he didn't play well, and there's no excuses. Injuries or not, you're in the game. You got to play. Your team had you there. You had a chance. What do you guys think about all this? How do you think of Game 6? And, what kind of onus do you put on Tyrese Haliburton to get past the Thunder in Game 6 to force a Game 7 in OKC? Let me know. Drop me some comments. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.